Hey everybody, it's Christine, and today I'm going to be doing my first layout for this month for the scrap room, and I am using the double shot kit. I'm also going to be spending the month of February talking about title work, and I started that the other day, actually on the 31st, with that big title on the Bella Boulevard layout. And now I'm going to continue that in several of my videos, just talking about different ways to make your title unique, different ideas for how to create a title, etc. So I am using this cruise themed collection from Photo Play Paper. And initially when I looked at it, I thought, oh, okay, we've been on a boat a few times in the last couple years, so that could work. But I couldn't find the pictures that I had in mind. So I started digging through my pictures more and realized I have pictures from when we took a boat out to see the Statue of Liberty last year, so that would be perfect. So you can see that I have layered pattern papers to create my base. I've got that really pretty diagonal stripes in the background, then I've got some navy blue cardstock, and then I've got that red monochromatic paper for my final layer. I cut out Lady Liberty real big on my silhouette. Now, what's different about this? Well, most of the time when we cut out titles on our silhouette, it has been with a white cardstock, especially when it's a fill-in one. So specifically thinking like a fill-in layout. So I'm using the John font, which is a good layout that you fill in the background. So a lot of times we see people use white. More and more, I'm seeing people use black. I didn't want to do either of those. There isn't a lot of white in this collection, and black didn't work either. So what I decided to do was use the green paper that came in the collection kit and also matched the Statue of Liberty, and I used that. So then the next question was I going to fill it up with patterned paper or something solid or nothing at all? And what I ultimately decided to do was bring in the off-white cream color that was in this collection, and I backed the whole thing with that. So while the title itself is not necessarily super unique in how I cut it out, it is somewhat unique in in my color choices. You're also going to see me continuing to build on that title. So the main points I want you to pull away today is you don't have to follow the trends that everybody else is doing. If you just want to go with the colors that match, then go with the colors that match. Or, you never know. Maybe you'll start a new trend. But don't feel like you're locked into white or black. Certainly any color will work. Now you can see I am building upon my picture and the rest of the layout. Because I've got such a large title, there's not going to be a whole lot required here. However, I did add quite a few layers underneath my photograph. And if you're looking at the photograph, you can see it's kind of a unique one. You can't see a face. When we went to see the Statue of Liberty, my youngest son was so excited, and he was like just elated the closer we got and he could see it. In fact, all the people on the boat turned and were watching his excitement because he was just freaking out. So that was a really cool moment. The rest of us were all like, yay, it's cool. But he was just like, this was a highlight in his life so far. And so I have this picture of him, and I couldn't get a great one of him smiling with her in the background, but I have this one of him looking at it and her perfectly positioned in the background. So I opted to go down that route, which is different. I don't do a lot of layouts where you can't see their faces telling the story. But I felt like of all the pictures that I took from that moment in time, this one best told our story. Now I have like 30 more pictures from it. How am I going to use those? Probably a pocket page, or maybe I'm going to do a mini album of the whole trip and pull out some highlights. But ultimately, this is going to be the main one that goes in the family scrapbook that's going to tell the story of that moment. Now, at the moment, I am using some 3D foam adhesive tape to pop up my my title. Now, I'm doing that a lot lately. I used to do my titles really flat when I cut them out on the silhouette, but I'm finding more and more that I'm gravitating towards popping it up. It's somewhat tricky sometimes to find the right adhesive to fit underneath it. In this case, the letters were so wide that made it easy, but sometimes I have to just trim strips and stuff to make that work. And that actually I've done another layout already for you where you're going to see I use some really thin stuff. Now I am going to expand upon the title that I have here. What I did is took that same off-white cream colored cardstock and I am adding some 1/2-inch strips. And what I'm going to do is use that to kind of make a subtitle that ties into the title, and the whole thing ends up being one big phrase. You'll also notice that I'm justifying them on the right, so you can see I'm using my T ruler there to make sure everything's nice and straight, and I'm letting them be unjustified on the left-hand side there. So different, just creating, you know, like if they were all the exact same size, I don't think it would look as good. I think it just adds interest to have those beginnings, endings, whatever you want to call it, a little more scattered there. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is pull out this 12 by 12 sticker sheet and figure out which stickers work the best for my layout. Some of these are very specific to types of cruises, whether it's there's some for a scrapbooking cruise. Trying to think. I feel like a lot of them kind of had a Bahamas, Caribbean feel to them just because they had like the warm weather feature. And so I'm picking out the things that will work that don't take away from telling the story. Now that, like that big boat works really nicely. That, I'm not sure what the right word is. The wheel that they turn to move the boat, that works really nicely. But you can see that like, there are definitely some stickers that won't work on this, both because there's not room, but also just because they're theme specific. I definitely still encourage you, when you see something like this that is theme specific, to do something like I did. Think about what you've got. How can you make this work? Even if you just end up saying, hey, I'm gonna just make some cool nautical themed cards with this. There are a lot of options there if you think beyond the obvious. Now, my question for you today, because I always enjoy your answers in my comments. What is your favorite part of the creating process? Is it the initial base part? Is it the embellishing part? Is it creating the title? What's your favorite part in the process? I have to say, for me, it actually probably is creating the title right now. I am really enjoying being creative with my title work, thus the series. But I'm curious, what's your favorite part? And obviously it could be something that I didn't even say also. So feel free to take that topic wherever you wish. As you can see off camera, I did add on the rest of the title. So it says, no one was more excited than Bo to go and see Lady Liberty. I did try and rhyme in there, but you can see how I made a really unique title that goes throughout the page and tells the story, just like the story I told you, very well. Thank you so much for being here today. Be sure to check out the new kits at the Scrap Room. Give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe. Love it when I get new subscribers. And be sure to leave me a comment down below with what is your favorite part of the scrapbooking process. We will see you again next time.